What's going on here is really against the Fifth Amendment due process, because these are individual properties. This is not one big property, folks. It's not one property that starts there at the end of Bennsville Road and goes down to Port Tobacco. These are individual property rights. So you're violating the Fifth Amendment for due process. You're also violating the 14th Amendment, okay, which guarantees us due process. Due process does not have to take place by taking of land physically. It can also be changing the use of personal property for the benefit of the community, and that's what you're doing here. So you're in essence violating the Fifth and the 14th Amendment, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I had a couple things I wanted to talk about. I know the last meeting I was here, December 3rd, there was a couple, I think Mr. Voll and Ms. Markle replaced the two that were here, and they mentioned, the commissioners, that we need to notify the people, like eminent domain hearings. Well, there's a reason she said it was, to notify them like eminent domain hearings, because this is environmental eminent domain. And
the Fifth Amendment tells us that we cannot be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall our private property be taken for public use without just compensation. The thing is, zoning does not take property. What zoning does is determine what can be done and where it can be done. Done right, it guides local governments to build where there is infrastructure and preserve where there is historic or natural high value. It determines what we ourselves can do with our land, whether it's building an apartment to banish the mother-in-law, keeping llamas, or starting a church. The Declaration of Independence tells us we have certain unalienable rights. Among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And yes, I read that with no irony, considering how I sound. However, can we Charles residents pursue that happiness when we are stuck for hours in traffic every working day, when our children's school bus commute to crowded schools or are bounced between schools because of redistricting, when our property taxes keep going up year in and year out, even as our home values go down? At the November 28th hearing, the CEO of the Southern Maryland Association of Realtors said that the Conservation District would have the potential for building 17,000 houses off the table. Considering the thousands of houses presently in the county's pipeline and specific projects like La Plata's proposed Heritage Green, which is 3,000 houses, and St. Charles's Woody Glen and Piney Reach, which is a breathtaking 10,000 houses, I have to ask, is 17,000 less housing units really such a bad thing? Our quality of life has been eroded by the inadequate services hangover our county has from literal decades of overindulgence in rapid growth. Implementing the Water Conservation District would give Charles County the breathing room it badly needs to catch up. We would not be the first county to reduce density. There are other Maryland counties out there who have done this, including our neighbor Calvert, who successfully downzoned over 200,000 acres, its entire county, not once, but twice. Approve this beast. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Freed.